What's up, everybody? We're back at it again on Rough River Lake. Today we're going to talk about efficiency and how being an efficient angler means more fish in the boat. Stay tuned. I have a few fish holding on this rock right here. Channel slopes down from 10 to 20 very quickly. We have a few fish staged up here. There's one. That was quick. Looks like he's gonna keep. All right, so here's another 12-inch fish. 2 years ago, my daughter and I did a study and aged several fish here at Rough River. These crappie have an otolith bone. It's an inner ear bone, and it gets rings every year like a tree would. And we found under a microscope that a 12-inch fish on Rough River is 4 years old. So apparently 4 years ago, we had a really good spawn because I catch an absolute ton of 12-inch fish, or have been catching 12-inch fish this fall. Let's drop back in here and see if we can catch another one. Here we go. This one goes about 11 inches. What do you think? Let's talk more about efficiency. I see a lot of folks that overcast to their target. Right now our target is about 20 foot from the boat. So I'm going to cast about 22, 23 foot and let it drop straight down with the bail open. That way you can get to the strike zone faster. It's all about being in the strike zone as quickly as possible. If you're wasting 10 to 15 seconds each cast to get your bait in the strike zone, in the course of a day, that could cost you several fish. Another tip in being a more efficient angler is knowing when to pull off of a spot. We've all been guilty, and I'm still guilty of it at times, of staying on a spot too long when the bite turns off. And I think LiveScope has made us this way because we can still see lots of fish that just aren't biting. Had a pretty serious cold front come through, and I've noticed these fish are not wanting to chase the bait. They almost want it dead stick right in front of them. All right, let's get back in position. I have my boat facing into the wind, that way I'm not being blown beyond my target. I'm going to slowly let this bait work the top edge of these fish. There's one. Feels like a good one too. Very nice. I think Willow approves. That's 13 inches right there. There's another one. Just like another good fish. All right, there's several fish stacked right here on the bottom, holding really tight. Let's see if we can talk a couple of them out. There's one. That's a keeper. All right, another tip on being a more efficient angler is there's going to be times where you're going to have to throw a micro bait, say maybe a 64th ounce, and the fish could be 15, 20 foot deep. So to be more efficient, I typically would use a number 7 split shot. I'll clamp it about 12 to 14 inches above the bait. That way you're able to get down to the strike zone much quicker. You still have the small profile bait, but you're not wasting half the day letting your bait drop into the strike zone. Got a little piece of standing timber right in front of the boat. Looks like there's a fish on top of it. Maybe one right below it as well. There it is. Oh, that's a big fish. That's not a crappie. Dang. Big old drum. All right, another efficiency tip is not using super glue on your soft plastics. Every time that bait slips down, that cast is wasted because the fish do not want to eat it. It's like a tree limb right here holding a few fish. We're going to try the one right here on top of it first. Work our way down. There's one. Looks like a decent fish. There's several on it. All right, let's cast back in there. There's the one off the top of it, which is a little bass. All right, let's get a little deeper on this little tree limb here. I think most of the crappie are down here towards the base of it. There's one. Good fish. Another one of those 12-inch fish I was talking about earlier. Let's throw back in here. There's several of them sitting right here at the base. Keep that bait right above them and slowly work it. There's another one. Another good keeper. Some nice black crappie. He was mixed in with some of the whites I've been catching. There's another one. Another keeper. That was the one I was looking at. It looked like the better one of the pile. He is. Nice. That's another 12-inch fish. Let's put this one on the scale. I know it's hard to size these fish on camera. So this scale goes to 12 inches. Here we go. It's a good fish. All right, this tip may seem a little bit obvious, but I think a lot of folks overlook it. Is the day before your trip, take a few minutes, tie up some fresh baits, reline your reels, whatever needs to be done, because when you're on the water, that's just taking away time when you could be catching fish. I always have at least 3 different styles of baits or colors tied up for each trip. All right, folks, it is 9:30 and I'm getting dog kisses. You done? All right, folks, another great morning on the water. It is 9:32. I've got my 20 fish in the box and it's time to go home. Hopefully today's video will make you become a more efficient angler. Just remember, if that bait is not in the strike zone, you're not fishing it. I appreciate you watching, and as always, keep it real right here on Real Pursuit Fishing.